Okay.
Come on in.
Okay.
I'd like to meet my good friend Roberta.
Yes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. That's what a college education does for you.
Closer to the table. Closing.
We're rolling with speed.
Uh-oh.
What time you'd like to start?
Ready?
Right, go.
Well, Christopher, very, very nice to see you again. And thank you. Right off, I have to thank you for going through this again. You know, you're one of the real stalwarts. And I'm sure I'm speaking for other members of the media. We really appreciate the time you give us.
Thank you.
Enjoyed the heck out of Superman 3. I really did.
Good.
I wonder, Chris, if you had to pick one of the three as your favorite, which one would it be?
I have to pick? I really do. It's a loaded question, I think, because there's no right answer. You know, I'm a softie. I like romance, and I think that Superman 1, for me, contains the most satisfying elements of it. I don't think we'll ever beat the flight around Metropolis with Superman and Lois. I think that was the tops of the whole thing. And Superman 3, much more of a comic book. Some people really like it better that way. You know, it's just slick, fast-paced, funny, a lot of laughs, moves along, and you come out and you can't believe you've just been through all that in 2 hours. And you come out blinking, trying to adjust to the daylight and, you know, remembering where you are. I miss the more romantic, even sentimental part of the character, but that's just my personal taste.
In this one, Chris, it seemed to me that maybe there were some unique things required of you as far as the flying. Now, true, or does it just appear that way on film?
Well, did you like the flying this time?
I loved it.
Oh, good, because I directed it. No, I had more to do with the flying this time, conceptually, than I did before. I used to just get on the equipment and do it, but today, this film, I was more involved in the placing of the camera and of the cranes and the various equipment, with ideas about how to make it very dynamic and at the same time so casual that it's almost a throwaway. That we really, you wouldn't want to hook a campaign on "You'll believe a man can fly." The campaign would be, "Of course he does," you know, and that much we can take for granted. So yeah, there's some good flying stuff, I think, and I had a good time being involved in it. But I think the measure of its success is that you don't even notice it.
What about Richie Pryor in the flying? He really did have to fly, didn't he?
Yeah, he had one quick trip.
Did he like it?
Well, he was called on to be terrified, which he managed to do with great conviction. And we prepared him for it. I took him up 10 feet, and then I took him up 15, and then on the day that we actually worked, we were up 60. And he called, you know, it caused for him to close his eyes, put his hand over him, and scream, and he just did that fine.
In one take, huh?
No problem.
Chris, how do you look upon this whole thing as Superman? Because every time I come out, I just think there's nobody else who could do that role and satisfy me as much as you do, and I'm not trying to be patronizing. But for you now, the actor, actors always want to do a wide variety of things, and you do that, and you've done it all along. But is Superman for you a blessing or a curse?
Well, it's a blessing. And I, frankly, if I were sitting out there in the public, and even sitting here, I get really tired of hearing actors say, well, of course I'm going to play Hamlet now, and I'm going to be real and serious and heavy and all. I think the public shouldn't have to know about any of that. You just get on with your life, and sometimes they'll like you and sometimes they won't. But my intention really is just to carry on doing work that I like, and sometimes I get it right and sometimes I don't. But I could not for a minute think of this as a curse, because it's made me financially independent, it's brought me the respect of my peers, it's gotten me a chance to work with some of the best directors in the business and to get reviews, and wow. I mean, and also it was such a long shot in the beginning. They all thought it was going to be a joke, and we, the filmmakers, felt we could win our way into people's hearts, and we did. How could that be a curse?
I'm glad to hear you say that. Do you feel, Chris, that the critics were unfair to you regarding Monsignor?
No, it was a horrible picture and deserved to be lambasted. But how's that for an honest answer? But it's true. It was a very bad movie. The thing was, it was a needlessly bad movie. And that's sadder. It's like watching somebody who should be a merit scholar drop out of school. And I say that because we had the material and it was misused, and the needs and tastes of the American public were very badly played down to. And I simply object to film like that because it's a waste of the right material, but also it makes serious allegations about a religious figure and fails to prove it. And boy, you know, I hate anything where you fail to make your point. You can call anybody anything as long as you prove it. And I just believe in fair play, and I just, oh, it just wasn't fair, that movie.
Who was to blame?
Well, I don't want to name names, you know, it's corporate decision making. Let's leave it at that.
But you were such a pro, Chris, in that you went ahead and you did the promotional things that you had to do. That must have been very difficult for
It
you.
was, particularly because I don't approve of it, you know. It's like, you know, like Woody Allen says, I wouldn't want to join any club that would have someone like me for a member. And I felt, here I am, having to promote something that I basically don't approve of. And yet, I don't know, I am the actor. And while, since I carry the vehicle part, people may think that I'm responsible for the content, but I'm not. And I will always know, you can't always prove to the world what a wonderful person you are. I mean, I know what Monsignor could have been, and I'm just going to have to live with the fact that the rest of the world won't know it, you know? But it's next case.
They will know because I'm going to run this interview just like you said it.
Okay.
Chris, lovely to see you again. Congratulations, you have another hit with Superman 3. And
Thanks a lot.
maybe I'll see you on Superman 4, okay?
I don't think so, but we'll see me other places.
Okay, thank you. So you're saying this is the end of Superman?
Yeah, you got to quit while you're ahead, you know? It's like
Okay. Is there enough room on that tape for questions? Or should we go to another tape?
you have room.
Oh, okay. All right. Reactions? And sound. Of the three, which is your favorite? Chris, do you consider Superman a blessing or a curse? Is there anything different about the flying this time? Do you think the critics were unduly harsh in their reviews of Monsignor? What was that last thing? Oh, who's to blame then? Will there be a Superman 4? That should do it, fellas. Did we make it?
Where do you go?
Wonderful. Okay.
Right on.